Hello guys and welcome back to another Etheria restart video. As you know, Asal got a buff, and looking at how people are reacting to her post-balance patch, I think we've got a much clearer picture now. And she looks a lot stronger than she did at launch. So let's go over what Asal feels like now after the balance changes, because these buffs addressed a lot of the concerns players originally had. First, the core idea of her kit, Presence and Menace, is still the foundation of everything she does. Presence now reduces enemy attack, defense, and max HP by 3% per stack. But the stack cap has been doubled to 20. Menace works the same way for Asal, increasing her own attack, defense, and max HP by 3% per stack up to 20. Even with the lower percentage per stack, the much higher cap means her late-game scaling is even crazier than before. And because neither effect can be removed, she still dominates in drawn-out fights. One of the biggest changes players are praising is how much faster she ramps now. Her first skill, Hunt Chase, deals 2 hits of 120% damage, still steals buffs, and now applies Presence while granting Menace more efficiently. It's still not her flashiest move, but it no longer feels like wasted turns when she has to use it. Her passive is where the real buffs came in. Asal still starts with unending stacks for death prevention, but now every stack of Menace directly increases all of her damage dealt, not just certain abilities. That change massively improves her consistency and makes her scaling far more noticeable throughout the fight, instead of only when using specific skills. Hellfire is also significantly stronger now. It deals 360% AoE damage, has a guaranteed buff dispel when upgraded, and now inflicts 3 stacks of Presence while granting 3 stacks of Menace. That means one AoE can massively swing the momentum of a fight, while accelerating her ramp up at the same time. This is a huge reason why player sentiment around her has improved. Reverence remains her main single-target nuke, hitting twice for 240% damage, while applying 3 stacks of Presence and granting 3 stacks of Menace. Since her Menace scaling bonus was moved into the passive, this skill now functions more smoothly as pure burst and setup rolled into one. And that's really the biggest difference after the patch. Asal no longer feels nearly as slow. That was the #1 complaint before, and most players now agree the buffs fixed a lot of that issue. She still isn't a turn 1 nuker, but she ramps much faster and starts threatening enemies much earlier in the fight. In PvE, she now looks even better than before. Longer boss fights let her fully abuse the new 20-stack scaling, and her permanent stat reduction combined with stronger ramping makes her one of the nastiest sustained DPS options for drawn-out content. PvP is where opinions have shifted the most. Before, players felt she was too slow for aggressive metas. Now, while she still prefers slower or balanced comps, her faster stacking and stronger immediate impact make her much more viable. She's no longer just a niche, late-game scaler. She can actually pressure teams mid-fight instead of waiting forever to become relevant. Of course, she still wants support. Protection, sustain, and teams that help her survive early remain valuable because if she gets deleted before stacking, none of her scaling matters. But compared to before, she's much less dependent on being hard-carried through the early game. So overall, post-balance patch, the community sentiment is pretty clear. Asal went from strong but maybe too slow to a genuinely top-tier scaling DPS. She has insane late-game potential, much smoother ramp-up, better consistency, and now threatens fights far earlier than before. If you skipped her because of early feedback saying she was too slow, that may no longer be true. She's still not the best fit for players who only enjoy hyper-fast burst comps. But for anyone who likes scaling carries or longer fights, Asal now looks absolutely worth investing in. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.